actually just had this other vision. Um, it was of a child who was 15 and pregnant, and her mum just being so angry that she pins her to the floor and shaves off her head because she's angry about this. But I think because the mum's Christian or religious or something, Catholic or whatever, they're not going to have an abortion. She does have this kid, but I feel like this was not that long ago, probably 1950s or something like this. But in a time where this would have been a disgrace. And I'm wondering if this vision that I've had, because I was just talking about Doja Cat, and her I think she had a past life where she was shamed. A lot of people had this belief that sex is bad. If you have sex with a 15-year-old, or at the age of 15, if a 15-year-old or 14-year-old chooses to have sex with people, they're a slut, they're dirty. And there's just so many parents that are just disgusting. They have no ability to understand. They will just see their daughter as like scum, basically. And I just feel like I had a vision of Doja Cat shaving her hair now, and I feel like actually the reason why she's done this is actually out of subconscious anger. I don't know if she'd feel this way, but out of subconscious anger for this vision of this girl being shaved so that she would look unattractive and ugly for people around her because of this pregnancy that she's just, it's such a horrible story and it's such a horrible thing. But when I'm thinking of this song, where she's, I look better with no hair. I mean, technically, being sexual has nothing to do with, with shaving your hair or stuff. But I feel like, I know the Jews did that to, no, not the Jews, the people did that to the Jews in shaving their hair to make them feel shame and bad and stuff. And it's something that happens a lot, to shame people for something that's not actually that bad. I mean, it's bad to get pregnant at 15, but if you can look after the child, I mean, abortion is always the best way, so you should never get too angry. But because their beliefs in the past were just so wrong, like abortion was bad because they believed that you're killing a baby when you're not. You just, it should be the mother's choice, but they never gave the mother the choice because they didn't believe in God the mother. They never wanted to give, subconsciously they didn't want to give the mother the choice. They wanted to give the father the choice, and I think there's truth to that. I'm not going to choose who stays and who goes. I feel like the males have to, or the leaders, should I say? I mean, I'm saying males mostly because they are males. But yeah, they have to kind of decide. There's too many people here. Some have to go, some have to stay, and I think it should be the leaders that kind of decide this. And there's a lot of people at the bottom who hate the idea of leaders deciding, but at the end of the day, I feel like they only hate the leaders deciding because they want to be the ones that decide, and they can't get to be the ones that decide. And I feel like there's a reason why they can't get to be the ones that decide, because my higher self doesn't actually, they're not connecting as much with my higher self, hence has chosen other people to be in the positions that they're in. It's very complicated, and sometimes people are in the high position for the wrong reasons. And it's not necessarily God's choice. It's just, well, that's natural selection. I feel like there is a difference between natural selection and God's selection. But at the same time, if God is so like undecided on what is the best selection, letting the matrix do a natural selection is probably the best way to sort things. But yeah, it's Georgia Cat has a very strong sexual desire, but she has recently shaved her hair, and it doesn't make too much sense to me. But I feel like even when, if this girl who had her hair forcibly shaved by her parents because she got pregnant, I feel like even when her hair was not there, she still had that sexual desire and sexual need. Um, and that's why she's expressing it now. She's saying, I can shave my hair off and it doesn't change anything about me.